Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another interview on the Southern Cross Combat channel. I'm your host Joel Rasmussen, and this is the last chat with the guys who are on the road to UFC. Then there was one, and now there is none. I'm talking to Mr. Jack Becker, a man that I've saved for last, but absolutely not least. He is a lightweight in the tournament. He's fighting out of scrappy MMA over in Perth, training with guys like Jack Della Maddalena, Rod Costa. He's been a real staple of the lightweight division in Australia for a while. We talk about it in the interview, but we don't get too into it because I worry that when you talk about some of the crazy things that happens in people's lives, you risk having it define them. But Jack, Anderson Silva level, broke his leg 3 years ago, I believe, maybe 4 years ago now. Against Aiden Aguilera, and it was a long road to recovery. He came back, and since then has put together some wins and has got this opportunity on the road to UFC. I really enjoyed this interview with Jack. It was something really interesting, talking about kind of the mentality that comes from having forced time off. When the leg breaks. And the comeback and still making it to this point. And he talks about how he never worried and he never thought he wasn't going to get here, which I find super interesting. And I think this interview is a real interesting insight to maybe him and the mindset that a fighter needs to be in, and how he used to approach the sport compared to now. I didn't expect it to go down the route that we do, but I'm very happy that we did. I'm very happy with it. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and please enjoy my interview with Jack Becker. G'day, it's Joel Rasmussen from Southern Cross Combat, and ahead of his appearance on the road to UFC, I'm talking to Mr. Jack Becker. Jack, I thank you very much for the time. How are we?
Howdy, how you doing? Very well, thank you.
I'm doing well, and I'm very happy to be talking to you. And I really appreciate you giving me the time, because you're over there. You're over in China right now.
I'm here, very much so.
How is it treating you?
It's been wicked, very accommodating. A bunch of the Anzacs are over here. There's a few guys that I know from Japan. So to be so not that far away, but to be in a foreign place and know a bunch of Aussie blokes and some New Zealander guys that we get along with, and a couple from Japan as well. It's feels cool. It's good.
When did you get in?
I got in on Saturday night.
How long of a travel is it for you from Perth?
Two 5-hour flights.
Oh, all right, actually, that's not as bad.
Yeah, not too bad. It's
Not compared to
pretty
going to
easy.
Canada.
Yeah, not quite the same. I didn't do the Canada trip, but Ben's here, and Ben's been back in Perth for 2 days before he came out here from that Canada trip. So I owe him a lot.
I bet it was light work for Ben in that case.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, talking about knowing some of the people over there. I've been talking to a lot of the guys from the road to UFC, and not a lot of the guys know each other. Who do you know over there?
Um, I mean, we've seen not necessarily fighting. Jamie Malarkey's here, Brad Riddell's here, um, Seb Salazar is here. Um, a couple of the Japanese boys who have come over to fight in Perth. Um, who else is here? Don't know him super well, but Don Marfan and his team's here. Um, a few others off the top of my head, I can't recall them
I
all,
was
but
gonna say,
just
I'm sorry to put
faces
you
I've
on the
seen
spot.
around. No, no, that's cool. Just faces I've seen around, and it's like we're from the same country. We got the same goals. Fuck yeah, good work.
This,
There's no animosity in that way.
talking about the
Mm.
goals. You're here. You're on the road to the UFC. It is a huge step in the right direction. How does it feel to kind of finally be here, being known on the UFC radar in the UFC ecosystem?
It's wicked. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. I'm very excited. Um, it feels good. Feels good, feels right. I feel very ready, feel very, very amped. Um, yeah, pieces come together, and I'm very excited about that.
I can, only speak from my perspective, so I don't mean to, I can only see it from how I view it. I feel like it's been a long time coming for you. I feel like these are some long overdue flowers, for yourself getting this opportunity. Does it feel like that for you?
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. So it's just I feel like I'm just to put my head down, and where I end up is where I end up, and I've been putting work in, and I've had um my head down for a while now. So I just feel grateful to be in this position where there's it's a pretty cool thing that there's some people out there in the world that like the way you do your craft, like the way that you put your things out there and portray your sport. And if they want to bring you into another country and put you up and support you to get in front of them and give it your best shot, like that means the world to me. So it's a really cool opportunity, and I won't take that for granted.
Now, when hectic things happen to people, I think they're important to acknowledge, but not let those things define them. So, if we can talk about obviously like the leg injury that happened years ago, I don't want it to define you, but if we can kind of talk about it from that point there, which is something absolutely horrific, did you believe that you would make it here and get here and get this UFC opportunity?
I knew that was not didn't have a chance to stop me. No, like that. I knew I'd be moving forward. That's how I am. I um I had to ask myself, like, what's this going to be like? What's this going to entail? And that was hard questions. But it was really just like that's annoying. That is an obstacle for now. Um, so it was really just like one foot in front of the next. That was pretty simple for me.
Was there, is that kind of who you are as a person? Like that level of resilience? Was there something you attribute that resilience to?
Um, I suppose like I feel as though action. I'm a person who I believe takes pride in action. So it's if you're going to sit and cry, like do some leg exercises while you're crying. So like feel it. Things suck. There's some shit that can go down in life that's fucking hard, and that's a fact, and it's not something that changes, right? It's gonna be hard things in life. So it's like I feel as though action without blocking it out, like that stuff that hurts, you've got to feel. But I think you can feel and use the feeling to take action. And I feel like that's where the resilience for myself sort of comes in.
I was fortunate enough to see you about midway through March. You were doing some cornering work at Eternal on the Gold Coast. Did you know then that this opportunity was there? How long had you known that you were getting this opportunity?
Oh God, I'm not good with dates and times. I've known for a while. There was some whispers that was sort of like it's looking good, and then it didn't get confirmed until a little bit later. But yeah, I had my eyes on it for a while.
What was that process then? Like, how did this come to be?
My managers were putting a good word in for me that the season was coming up, and there's some of the performances that I've had were obviously very exciting and good wins. So there was a sales pitch for me, and they said, "Yeah, let's go."
Where were you when you got the call or the information? Yep, you're officially in. This is real.
I don't know. Maybe at home. I'm not sure.
That's fair. Do you remember maybe who the first person you told was?
First person I told, probably Ben. Probably Ben.
What was Ben's reaction?
Not surprised. It's just sort of we're taking the steps. Yeah.
Is that almost what's that like? Because Ben is a very, I would use the phrase like a very reserved guy to be like sharing like great news and he's like exactly as planned. Like what was that like
Yeah.
to have that reaction?
Yeah, well, yeah, not surprising. It was just like yeah, well, we know. So we move in that direction. Yeah. He's reserved some places and other places he's not as reserved. And I love him for it.
It's what makes Ben
It's
Ben.
a strength. Yeah.
Uh Now with some of the guys in the tournament, some of the other Aussie blokes, this will be the first time for them traveling and fighting guys they're not maybe uber familiar with. You're a
Mm.
guy who's traveled to fight before. Um, did you know much about your opponent?
Yeah. I looked him up. I did a bit of study. Yeah.
What do you make of him?
What do I make of him? He looks pretty well rounded. What I do know is he's not fought someone like me. I've watched his fights and he hasn't experienced what I can do in the cage. And I think that's going to work to my advantage for sure.
What the people watching this, some of the people watching this will know who you are, but now
Hmm.
getting onto that UFC level, it's kind of that international exposure. What are those things that you do in the cage so well?
Pace, uh, a pace, a, a viciousness, yeah, like a ferocity, I believe. It's a ferocity and a pace that I don't think he's tasted in this sport before.
He is a guy who has fought someone from Perth before. He fought Abdallah Biada. Um, did you speak to Abdallah about this fight? Did you ever reach out to him and talk about the opponent?
No,
Fair enough.
yeah, no,
I
no.
This is the like we spoke at Eternal when I saw you. You know, we had a bit of a chat, but this is the first time I've spoken to you pre-fight and on like an on-camera sense.
Hmm.
If you don't mind me saying, I feel you're very zen. I feel a great kind of calmness coming on off you. Are you always like this?
Um, last few years, yeah, yeah. It wasn't always the way, but yeah, I feel like if I can be chill, it's less energy used. Like I know when the time comes what I can turn on, and being chilled out in the week and saving my energy and just like simmering a little bit and just enjoying the time, being like having a laugh, like yeah, like I don't need to carry around this like look at me energy or this like staring people down in hallways. Like it's crap. That's just noise. So I feel like if I can just relax and be myself, I'll move my best. I'll be able to chill and enjoy the week. And it doesn't mean I'm not focused. I'm very focused. I know exactly what I need to do wherever I am, and I know what I need to do when the day of the fight comes. So um yeah, I feel like being calm works for me. And yeah, and it's just I feel as though the calmer I can be now, it helps me more so to tip into whatever it is that I need to tip into when the when the doors close.
You say maybe a few years ago it would have been different. That's something that's kind of come over the past few years. How come? Like, why has that change happened?
Um, why is that change happen? Just calming down a little bit, paying more attention to what motivates me, like what makes me fight, what makes me motivated to do anything. More attention to that, and just a bit of a more of a practice to just be a little bit calmer in my own life and take charge in my own life and be accountable for everything. So yeah. And I think one of them, I was already sort of on that journey to just like fucking chill out a little bit. Like, just because you fight in a cage doesn't mean you need to walk around in that energy of like, I'm ready to go at any second. Like, that's not a good use of energy, and it's not really a good use of life if for me. Um, so I was sort of on that journey, just like kind of figuring out like where do I need to be and why do I want to be there in this sort of scale of a mental balance. And the leg break thing was a hard turn up the volume on that one because it's obviously a challenging thing. So I just sort of lent more into like, all right, well, let's I'm gonna need to be patient here. So let's practice patience. Let's practice being calm and leaning into that helped me dial up the other end of my sport incredibly. I'm the most physically and mentally sharp I've been ever in my life, and it's exciting.
What does motivate you?
What motivates me? What motivates me? Doing this sport in a way that really excites me. Like, what is exciting to me, and what when I can get in there and move my body how I've practiced, and I can do this sort of art or craft or whatever you want to call it, like at my best, that really motivates me and that wakes me up. And on top of that, if I can do that in a way that excites me, and then I can do it in a way that excites the people that I love and inspire the people that I love, then I feel like that's a pretty good use of my time. And I feel like that really sort of sums up a lot of what's going on for me.
Has this development been an entirely internal thing? Meaning, like you say there, maybe during that time off, you get forced to have time off. Is it something you come to on your own? Did you like read books about this, go to a sports psych? Like, how did this happen?
Mhm. All of the above. Like, yeah, all of it. Just like I think one of the cool things that I realize is there's absolutely no limit to how you can professionalize yourself, and there's absolutely no limit to how you can work on your mind. So you open one door and there's five more doors, and then I guess in that as well, there's also like a time to be like, you know what, just I don't need to be upgrading anything. I just want to sit in the sun and fucking relax. So that balance between like knowing that you can always be leveling up something, I can always be um, professionalizing myself somehow. I can always be strengthening my mind. I can always be just practicing getting to know myself better. And then also know when it's time to just sit in the sun and just stop thinking and enjoy something like that. So I think the balance between those things and knowing that you can, there's really no limit to progress. And I think I have a lot of fun with that. That I enjoy that, and I enjoy those conversations with people that I care about. So um, yeah, that's the sort of th- thing that I enjoy spending my time doing.
You talk about that evolution, and you make like a realization of like, just because I'm a fighter doesn't mean I'm going to use the phrase high strung. I bet you don't
Yeah,
have to walk
I like
around
that.
kind of high strung all the time. When you look back at that guy, when you look back at you, maybe before you came to that realization, what do you make of that guy? What do you make of that Jack Becker?
Tense, very tense would be, yeah, just less self-awareness, tense. I think that high strung is just clinging on too tight to something that doesn't need to be clinged on to. Yeah.
What is that something that he's clinging on to?
What is that something? I think it's a lot. I think it would be clinging on to a lot of things. I feel, yeah, I think that's a conversation we could have for hours, to be honest. I think just a little bit more going with the flow, like not needing to grip so tight on anything, not needing to grip so tight on results, not needing to grip so tight on the way that people view me, not needing to grip so tight on uh, holding that fight energy to be ready at all times to fight. Like, I think there's a lot with that. I think, yeah, the high strung is just like there's too many things that are going on in the mind, and the mind is a little bit sticky. There's not a lot of flow with the thoughts.
When you look at that, how much more, like, is it relieving to not have to worry about all that stuff anymore?
Is it relieving? Is it relieving? Yeah, I guess. Is it relieving to not have to worry about it? I mean, I still worry about things. I think but I've come to terms with the fact that that's living, and I will always worry about things. It's like, how highly strung are you to it? Like, when it comes and you can kind of have a practice to control your thoughts, and you can have a practice to like be at peace with sort of surrendering to some things that you can't control, then that's sort of the remedy to it. It's not a fix. It's not like now I have solved the mind. It's more just like I've got a relationship with things that's just a little bit more playful.
You mentioned that, you learn how to focus when you need to focus, but you also learn the value of enjoying the sun and being able to take that time. How do you enjoy the sun? What does Jack Becker do during those moments of letting go and I'm going to use the phrase relaxing?
Yeah, I meant that literally, like just sitting in the sun, nothing else. Sun on my face, lawns of grass, just think of nothing, read a book
What are
or
you reading
don't.
at the moment?
What am I reading at the moment? I'm reading like of like three books. One of them's one I can't remember the title. One of them's a book by Brene Brown. Another one's Tribe of Mentors. Um, I like Stephen Pressfield as well. I can't remember what the third one is that I've got at the moment, but um, yeah, bit of a mixture of things. Yeah. To be fair, most of them are audible, but I do read some hard copies too.
Nothing wrong with a good audiobook.
Nah, it's more up my alley.
Do you consider yourself a meditation guy?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's, what you've described to me already, but what is meditation to you?
What is meditation to me? Uh, I, I suppose in short, like a practice of, I want to say a practice of controlling thoughts, but I guess it's also the opposite. It's a practice of like letting go of thoughts. So it's kind of like a release of the grabbing of the mind, like just sort of, yeah, just sort of intentionally sit with myself and sort of let my mind flow or be empty. I guess there's different types of meditation as well. You could be meditating on something, or you could be meditating to clear the mind.
The way you talk about this, and particularly the maybe, yeah, letting go of a little bit of the stress of results of things and how things are going, or at least beginning understanding how to be more kind of content with them. It reminds me at least a little bit of when Volkanovski talking about that kind of fighter's identity. And if you
Mm,
consume yourself in the fighter's identity, you lose a little bit of like the rest of you.
mm,
Is with that in mind, and maybe that's something you relate to, maybe it's something you don't particularly. I'm not, you don't have to, but
mm.
who who is Jack Becker?
Who is Jack Becker? Who is Jack Becker? To be honest, it might sound a bit cliche, but whoever the fuck I feel like being in that moment. So tomorrow morning, I could change everything that I ever wanted because I'm allowed to do that. So there's the things that I love and there's the passions that I have, but that's not me necessarily. They're the things that I love. So my answer is kind of like who I choose to be in the next moment.
Jack, this is not the path I thought we'd go down, but I very much am enjoying talking about this. And if I'm being honest with you now, talking about fighting feels like a disservice to the interview. It's in a weird way, it's almost like the last thing I want to talk about with you right now is fighting.
We're gonna have a spirituality call separate.
I've got no issue with it. I'm really enjoying this. If we can talk about fighting in one for one moment here,
Yeah.
something I noticed that I thought was interesting is by my count, if I'm not mistaken, from this region, I think it's 6 people
hmm
getting signed, whether it be in the tournament or one-off fights.
hmm
Uh, no more than the lightweight division. Why do you think the lightweight division has taken the most people to Road to UFC?
To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what that means, what you said.
Like, I just find it interesting that it, from my understanding, every other division has like one guy from Australia or New Zealand,
Yeah.
or training out of Australia or New Zealand.
Yeah.
From if I'm not mistaken, lightweight has 3 guys
Okay.
training out of Australia or New Zealand. I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on it, and what about the lightweight division do you think makes it so there's that level of representation?
I don't know who New Zealand is. There's me, Don fan, and then New Zealand. I don't know who that guy is in
I don't think
lightweight.
there's not like a Kiwi guy. I just didn't want to make a mistake and have someone be training out of New Zealand and claim them from Australia. I just didn't want to make the mistake.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I just think that something about that Anzac culture is that we kind of come to fight. I believe that there's something about that maybe the spirit of our culture or just the way that Aussies and New Zealanders are. I feel we're not shy of a scrap. We're not shy to dig and bring to the cage what needs to be brought.
Uh, we talked about kind of how China has been so far. Have you gotten a chance to like go and hang out and look at stuff?
We've been to Starbucks and they didn't let us buy a coffee because our cards didn't get accepted. Ben was very upset about that actually. Um, it's yeah, we haven't gone far, but we will. We're going to do a little explore potentially this afternoon. Just check it out. It's nice to just use the time wisely and just investigate and see what's out there. So we'll do a bit of an explore, but we haven't been too far. There's a couple of little nice food joints around, which has been not as much for me, but Ben's had some tasty meals.
What's your Starbucks order?
Depends where I am and what's going on, but I just got a flat white, no latte, just pretty simple with almond milk.
How did it get paid for if the cards got declined?
I had a bit of cash. Yeah, I made it.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Who is over there with you?
just me and Ben,
Is that
Ben
co
Vickers.
common for you?
No, normally there'd be some extra boys around, but this one was a little bit different. We only get 2 cornermen, so the plan was um to have someone else, but it's just sort of the boys coming back and forth from Montreal, and it's sort of yeah, it's just a bit dusty, but Ben knows me. He knows how I fight. We get along. We train well together. We've got a pretty good bond, so that's more than enough.
I get. Does it have almost that different feel about it, kind of going in as just a duo?
Yeah, I feel like it's almost tighter. It's like it's me and him. We're together. Let's go. Let's put on this show that we've trained for. We've come a long way together. He's helped me out a great deal since I've been at his gym, and um yeah, it's this fight. is important to both of us, and I feel we both feel really excited to get in there and get the job done.
Uh, what does the rest of your time before fight day look like?
A couple of sort of interviews tomorrow with the commentators, and bits and pieces of some training. Um, Pretty simple. Maybe a little walk, a little bit of exploring. Nothing too much. Just pretty low key, to be honest.
And then following the fight, obviously it is a business trip, but are you getting a chance to hang out in China at all, or are you straight back home?
It's pretty much straight back home. So after the final, we might find a little karaoke place for me to get some songs happening. So, but this one's just in and out. They booked our flight for I think the next morning, 9 a.m. and my flight's at 8 p.m. So
Oh, fun.
maybe
Thanks,
slip out for
UFC.
one song on the way home. Yeah.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
I don't have one, to be honest. I don't have a go-to, but I don't mind to mix it up, have a
Is
little dance.
is there like a genre that you're partial to?
Um, nah, my music taste is abstract as shit, to be honest.
What type of stuff are you listening to?
Anything from country to drum and bass.
Why
Yeah,
do you think that comes from anywhere, that kind of eclectic taste?
I've never heard that word before, eclectic, but I'll keep that one. Um, no idea, to be honest. I guess I'm a probably an abstract guy, so just a mixture of like different shit excites me. If I'm in this mood, that sounds good. If I'm in this mood, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm not really shut off to anything. So if I vibe with it, I'll play it again.
What has been is there anything like is there a particular set of songs you've been listening to a lot this camp?
Hmm, not really. Nah, I just kind of scroll through my liked songs and just keep popping on to whatever's fitting my vibe.
Bro's got to have the most crazy Spotify Wrapped ever.
Yeah, it would be too. Yeah.
Uh, Jack, I thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it, especially calling me from over there. I really do
That's cool.
appreciate it.
Nah, man, no stress.
Thank
We'll
you
do our
so much.
spirituality call on another day.
Yeah, well, we can stop the recording, but we can keep talking, bro. We can unlock our cheese,
Yeah,
align the chakras. But I
for
really do
sure.
appreciate you taking the time and talking to me, and I best of luck in the fight and safe travels home.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.